Now, here in the U.S., UNICEF is using International Women's Day to shine a spotlight on how a lack of access to water is harmful to women and girls. Aid groups say more than 2 billion people around the world don't have access to water. Now, UNICEF is using virtual reality to drive home this message.
Girls have to get water for their families, but they are always terrified because a group of men can come and take you. A man comes. Girls have to get water for their families, but they are always terrified because a group of men can come and take you. A man comes and decides to force you into marriage. Then your life is useless.
Every day, girls are denied a child's fundamental right to an education, while the violence they face prevents them from making their own choices. Educated girls are less vulnerable, marry later, have healthier children, and can help lift them.
Fetch water for her family and herself every day. She is not able to go to school. She faces violence on her way to collect water. And so what we're doing for this month is elevating these issues around water for water gatherers everywhere, because collectively, women and girls around the world spend 200 million hours a day fetching water for their families.
So why is it that the women and girls are doing this and the boys and men are not? What's the difference over here?
The thing is, in a lot of these communities, traditionally, it is women and girls who are charged with collecting water used for cooking, for drinking, for cleaning, and this burden falls on a lot of women specifically.
So how much water are we talking about that a family needs?
So on average, a family of 5 will need 46.2 gallons of water a day. And so I know you and I, we carry our half gallon of milk home, but times that by 80. And then you see the massive amount of water that we use or is needed for a family of 5 during the course of one day. And so women and girls are carrying this 46.2 gallons, over 300 pounds of water a day to their families and communities.
So those numbers seem extraordinary, but if we could break it down into the amount of time that is required, how much time are these girls and women spending lugging water each day?
Yeah, they're often walking miles to and from these water sources, and as I said, cumulatively, it's like 200 million hours for women across the world fetching this water. Sometimes it's a half an hour spent, sometimes it's hours.
Hours each day trying to collect water, and we know that obviously that trek, they are subjected to potentially violence, harassment, sexual assault.
Yes.
What is your display intended to do? What do we do with this knowledge?
So we, right now, on March 3rd, UNICEF launched a pop-up interactive gallery at the World Trade Center Oculus, where people can gain information about this issue and also experience the virtual reality film about Sylvia's life. We had an interactive mural that people participated in and were able to send their support to the women and girls around the world that are dealing with this issue. And so people can go, they can see the film, they can see the gallery, they can learn, and people are really, it's been interesting. People did not know about this issue, but it's been great to see how through this exhibit, this issue has been elevated, and people are pledging to volunteer, they're donating, they're signing up for more information, and so it's been really a great pop-up and experience for people, but also we'll be there until March 15th, so people are welcome to come and experience it for themselves as well.
So I get learning about it, and I feel for the young women and girls who have to do this every day, but as people who are so far removed from that, what can we physically do? What can we literally do to actually help these girls?
So there are a number of things, and One is you can visit unicefusa.org/womeninwater, and there you can sign on to the International Violence Against Women Act, which we are advocating for here in the United States. And that is we're trying to put supports in place and protections in place for gender-based violence, including the types of violence that women experience to and from these water sources. You can also there on that same website learn more, pledge your support, and also donate. As little as $5 can provide water for a child for an entire year. $10 for 2 years. And so there are lots of different things that you can do to support UNICEF's work in over 100 countries around the world to help women and girls access safe and clean water.
When I was reading up on some of the work you're doing, there is a hygiene element of it as well. So we're not just sort of drinking water. Hygiene is really significant, and girls are susceptible to some special issues with regard to that. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yes. So girls, so they're not able to go to school because they're busy fetching water, but then also when they reach a certain age and they start menstruating, they're not able to access hygienic facilities so that they're able to go to school while they're menstruating. And so this also puts up a lot of barriers for education for women and girls. In addition, waterborne diseases are the second leading cause of death for children under 5. So a number of issues around access to clean and safe water that we're working in these countries to support.
So when we say these countries, which regions are we talking about?
It's really all over the world. I mean, right now we're in sub-Saharan Africa. We're working with Beyonce on Begood for Burundi initiative in Burundi, where she's building water sources and wells for women and communities facing challenges to accessing clean and safe water. Where also the mural will be going to be installed in Bangladesh in a Rohingya refugee camp, where they'll soon be facing the monsoon season and having issues accessing clean and safe water and facing waterborne diseases.
It's so critical. Again, we often associate this purely with sort of the families, but you're saying that water and women should be intricately linked, because women and girls are the ones who principally are responsible for the water that families drink around the world.
They are the water bearers and the water gatherers, and that's why we've launched this campaign. The hashtag is Water is Unfair.
And if there's one thing that you want to leave people with, if you could explain briefly, what is that one thought?
Yes, it's to understand and not take for granted your access to water, and help UNICEF provide safe and clean access to water around the world. And so please go visit unicefusa.org/womeninwater to learn more, and please visit us at the World Trade Center. We're there until March 15th.
Thank you so much, Zuhirah. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.